Imagine a world where the fear of death holds no power over you. Lucretius, the Roman poet and philosopher, invites us to such a place. In the 1st century BCE, he boldly challenged the fear of death, offering insights that transcend time. His thoughts echo through the ages, resonating with those seeking peace with mortality. Lucretius wrote during a time when superstitions and myth often explained the unknown. Yet he stood apart, embracing a rational view of the universe. Influenced by the teachings of Epicurus, he sought to understand the natural world. Epicurus, a philosopher from ancient Greece, inspired a way of thinking that focused on the tangible. He believed that knowledge of nature leads to tranquility. Lucretius took these teachings and wove them into his poetry. His work, On the Nature of Things, explored the fabric of existence and our place within it. The fear of death, Lucretius argued, is unnecessary. He saw death as simply another part of life's cycle. This view stems from his understanding of atoms. According to Lucretius, everything in the universe, including our souls, is made of atoms. These atoms are eternal, constantly forming and reforming, creating everything we see and feel. When we die, our atoms disperse, returning to the natural world. Thus, death is not an end but a transformation. This perspective is deeply rooted in materialism, where physical matter is the foundation of all reality. Lucretius believed that understanding the nature of atoms could liberate us from fear. He saw fear of death as a mental burden, one that clouds our ability to live fully. To him, fearing death was irrational, because we do not fear the time before we were born. In the same way, he reasoned, we should not fear the time after we die. Life is a brief assembly of atoms, a temporary convergence that ends with our return to nature. This understanding can offer profound peace. The Roman philosopher Cicero presented a different view. He criticized Lucretius' ideas, suggesting they might undermine moral responsibility. Cicero wondered if believing death to be insignificant would lead to reckless living. But Lucretius countered these concerns with a different vision. He argued that accepting death as natural frees us from irrational fears. It allows us to focus on the present, on living a life filled with purpose and joy. Without the shadow of fear looming over us, we can engage more deeply with the world. This philosophy does not disregard the value of life. Instead, it invites us to cherish each moment without anxiety about the end. By removing the fear of death, Lucretius believed we could live more authentically. This echoes the broader Epicurean goal of achieving happiness through understanding. Life, in this view, is not about yearning for immortality. It is about appreciating the time we have and finding contentment within it. Lucretius' perspective on death challenges us to rethink our relationship with mortality. His ideas encourage us to see death not as an enemy, but as a natural part of existence. This approach can lead to a more meaningful engagement with life itself. Through his writings, Lucretius invites us to seek knowledge and embrace a rational understanding of the cosmos. His work remains a testament to the power of philosophy to transform our perceptions and enhance our lives. In the next section, we will explore how critics responded to Lucretius and how his ideas continue to impact modern thought. Critics like Cicero argued that Lucretius' view undermined moral responsibility. They feared that if death were seen as insignificant, people might live without regard for consequences. Cicero was concerned that this perspective might lead to a life devoid of virtue. He believed that fear of the divine and the afterlife provided a moral framework. This framework, in his view, was necessary for maintaining social order and personal ethics. Without such fears, Cicero worried society might fall into chaos and moral decay. Lucretius understood these concerns but saw them differently. He believed that removing the fear of death did not strip life of its meaning. Instead, it liberated individuals from irrational fears. In his view, freedom from this fear encouraged people to live more fully and responsibly. He argued that when we are not preoccupied with fear, we can focus on the present. This focus allows us to cultivate virtues and find joy in the fleeting nature of life. The absence of fear, for Lucretius, did not mean the absence of responsibility. Rather, it meant the presence of genuine freedom. This freedom, according to Lucretius, enables a deeper connection with the world. Without the looming dread of death, life becomes more vibrant and precious. This approach encourages an appreciation for the simple pleasures of existence. The Epicurean philosophy, which influenced Lucretius profoundly, emphasizes living wisely and justly. It suggests that understanding the natural world can lead to happiness. By removing fear, individuals can pursue knowledge and personal growth. This pursuit, in turn, leads to a more ethical and meaningful life. In conclusion, Lucretius provided a perspective that emphasized peace with mortality. He questioned how we confront our inevitable end. His insights invite us to reconsider the nature of life and death. They challenge us to embrace the temporary nature of our existence without fear. Lucretius's work continues to resonate with those seeking tranquility amidst life's uncertainties. His philosophy suggests that by accepting death, we can live more authentically. This acceptance allows us to find contentment in the present, free from anxiety about the future. Lucretius's ideas continue to impact modern thought. His work has inspired philosophers, poets, and thinkers throughout the centuries. The notion that death is a natural process, not an adversary, remains relevant today. In a world often consumed by the fear of the unknown, his insights offer solace. They encourage a rational approach to life and death, one that celebrates the beauty of existence. By embracing the natural cycle, we can foster a deeper understanding of our place within the universe. As we navigate the complexities of modern life, Lucretius' philosophy offers guidance. It invites us to seek knowledge and find peace in the face of mortality. This perspective challenges us to live with purpose and gratitude. It suggests that happiness is not found in the pursuit of eternal life, but in the appreciation of each moment. This idea resonates with those who seek a balanced and thoughtful approach to life's profound questions. Join us next time as we explore another great thinker's view on life's mysteries. Together, we will continue to unravel the philosophical threads that weave through history. Until then, let us ponder Lucretius's wisdom and find peace in the natural flow of existence. Thank you for joining us on this journey. May the insights gained guide you toward a more fulfilling life. We look forward to welcoming you back to our next audio essay. To delve deeper into Lucretius' philosophy, let us consider specific historical contexts and examples that bring his ideas to life. Lucretius wrote during the 1st century BCE, a time of significant turmoil and transition in Roman society. Political instability and social upheaval marked this era, with the Republic in decline and the rise of the Roman Empire. Against this backdrop, the fear of death and the unknown could have been particularly acute. Lucretius drew heavily on Epicurus, who lived in the 4th and 3rd centuries BCE. Epicurus famously posited that pleasure is the greatest good, but he distinguished between different types of pleasures. He advocated for simple, moderate pleasures and the cultivation of a tranquil mind. This tranquility, or ataraxia, was achieved through the understanding of natural phenomena and the rejection of superstitions and fears, particularly those concerning the gods and death. One concrete example of Lucretius' application of Epicurean thought is his rejection of divine intervention in the natural world. He argued that by understanding nature through reason and observation, individuals could dispel the crippling fear of capricious deities. Lucretius illustrated this with vivid imagery of the physical world in his epic poem De Rerum Natura, or On the Nature of Things. He described the formation of rainbows, the motion of the sun and moon, and the processes of the human body in purely naturalistic terms. Lucretius's work provided solace to those who feared death by treating it as a mere cessation of sensation. He famously noted, "Death is nothing to us, as when we are, death is not, and when death is, we are not." This idea, also rooted in Epicurean thought, aims to separate the mind from the fear of what comes after life, promoting a focus on how to live well in the present moment. Critics of Lucretius' views often argued that his materialism could lead to moral nihilism. If the soul is mortal, and there are no divine laws, what prevents chaos? Lucretius would likely reply that the pursuit of wisdom and the understanding of nature itself engender a moral framework. As Epicurus suggested, living wisely and justly aligns with the highest form of pleasure, which is peace of mind. This self-regulating principle, not divine punishment or reward, guides ethical behavior. Moreover, Lucretius' emphasis on nature and the interconnectedness of all things prefigures later philosophical developments. For instance, the Stoics, contemporaries of the Epicureans, also stressed living in accordance with nature. However, unlike the Epicureans, they believed in a divine order, or logos, that governed the universe. Lucretius, by contrast, saw nature's order as a product of random atomic interactions, devoid of divine purpose or oversight. Lucretius' deterministic view of the universe faced criticism as well. If everything is determined by the motion of atoms, where is the room for free will? Lucretius addressed this concern with the idea of the swerve or clinamen. This is the unpredictable movement of atoms that introduces chance and allows for free will. The swerve thus provides a mechanism for human agency within a deterministic framework. In the centuries following Lucretius, thinkers such as Michel de Montaigne and Thomas Jefferson found inspiration in his work. Montaigne admired Lucretius for his bravery in confronting death without recourse to religious consolation. Jefferson, a noted admirer of Epicureanism, found in Lucretius a rational foundation for understanding the world, which influenced his writings on liberty and the pursuit of happiness. The impact of Lucretius' thought extends into modern debates on existentialism and secular humanism. His insistence that meaning is found in life itself, rather than in an afterlife, resonates with existentialist thinkers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Albert Camus. They too grapple with finding meaning in a world perceived as indifferent or even absurd. In today's landscape, where scientific understanding continues to expand, Lucretius's ideas remain pertinent. They challenge both the religious and the secular to reconsider how we derive meaning and purpose. By embracing a naturalistic view of the world, free from supernatural fears, individuals may find a renewed sense of agency and appreciation for the present. Returning to Lucretius' core philosophy, the essence of his message is to embrace life without fear of death. It is an invitation to cultivate wisdom and find joy in the simple act of being. As we reflect on his teachings, we are reminded that by understanding and accepting the natural course of existence, we may yet find peace and fulfillment. Let us continue to explore these timeless questions, drawing from the rich tapestry of philosophical thought to illuminate the path forward. The concept of the swerve that Lucretius introduces has sparked significant philosophical debate over the centuries. Critics have argued that relying on such randomness undermines the coherence of his atomistic system. If atoms swerve unpredictably, some propose that this randomness could lead to chaos rather than lawful order. However, Lucretius counters this by suggesting that the infrequent and minor nature of the swerve is sufficient to allow for freedom without disrupting the overall predictability of the natural world. This nuanced balance is central to preserving both determinism and free agency. Lucretius' ideas also resonate with Enlightenment thinkers who sought to disentangle ethics from theology. David Hume, for instance, echoes Lucretius in his assertion that emotions, rather than divine command, guide moral judgments. Hume argues that reason serves to inform us of facts and relationships, but that it is our passions that move us to action. This human-centric approach to ethics can be seen as an intellectual inheritance from Lucretius's naturalism and his attempt to ground understanding in the observable world. The swerve also prefigures modern discussions in quantum mechanics, where unpredictability at the atomic level is a fundamental feature. This parallel illustrates the enduring relevance of Lucretius' ideas as contemporary physics similarly grapples with randomness and determinism. Although Lucretius could not have predicted the specifics of quantum theory, his insight into the role of chance in a deterministic system aligns with current scientific perspective. The ethical implications of Lucretius' philosophy invite further examination. His view that fear of the gods and of death corrupts human happiness challenges traditional religious doctrines. Nietzsche later builds on this critique, proclaiming that moral systems based on fear inhibit human flourishing. Nietzsche's concept of becoming who you are aligns with Lucretius's call to live authentically, free from the constraints of superstition. Yet, the absence of divine retribution or reward raises concerns regarding social order and moral behavior. Critics have wondered, if fear of divine punishment is removed, what safeguards morality? Lucretius believes that understanding nature and our place within it naturally leads to virtuous living. He posits that wisdom and self-awareness are sufficient guides to ethical conduct. This idea is echoed by later humanists, who argue that empathy and rationality, rather than divine mandate, form the basis of moral action. In the realm of existential philosophy, Lucretius's focus on life's inherent value without reference to an afterlife finds resonance with Camus' notion of the absurd. Camus argues that humans must persist in seeking meaning despite the universe's silence. For Lucretius, acceptance of nature's indifference liberates individuals to find joy in the transient moment, a perspective that anticipates Camus' call to live with passion and revolt against meaninglessness. While Lucretius champions a life of simple pleasures, his philosophy does not advocate hedonism in its extreme form. Instead, he suggests moderation and intellectual pursuit as paths to fulfillment. This view parallels Epicurus' own teachings on the balance between desire and contentment. In considering the socio-political implications of Lucretius's work, one sees a foundation for modern secularism. His rejection of divine intervention promotes a conception of governance rooted in human reason and empirical evidence. This aligns with the ideals of thinkers like John Locke, who emphasize the role of human experience in shaping just societies. Lucretius' ideas also address contemporary ecological concerns. His vision of interconnectedness prompts reflection on humanity's impact on the environment. By understanding our role within the natural order, Lucretius implicitly advocates for stewardship rather than dominion, a message increasingly relevant in the face of climate change. In summary, Lucretius's philosophy challenges us to contemplate existence without the framework of supernatural belief. It invites a radical rethinking of ethics, freedom, and the meaning of life through the lens of nature and reason. By embracing the uncertainties and wonders of the natural world, he offers a vision of life that is both liberating and deeply human. These reflections encourage continued exploration and dialogue as we navigate the complex realities of our own age, drawing from the wisdom of the past to inform the future. To delve deeper into Lucretius's vision of a world governed by reason rather than superstition, we must examine the specific challenges his philosophy poses to traditional religious and moral structures. The fear of gods and the afterlife has historically been a powerful motivator for moral behavior. However, Lucretius argues that this fear is unnecessary for ethical living. He suggests that the natural order itself, once understood, provides ample reason for humans to behave morally. One concrete example can be found in the way Lucretius describes the natural inclination of humans toward communal life and mutual assistance. In Rerum Natura, he posits that humans are by nature social creatures, and this instinct forms the basis of moral society. The idea that humans have an inherent capacity for empathy and cooperation is later echoed by thinkers such as Jean-Jacques Rousseau, who claims that humans are naturally good but corrupted by society. Lucretius's ideas about the natural world also intersect with the development of scientific thought. In his time, the world was often explained through myth and divine intervention. By attributing natural phenomena to physical causes rather than supernatural ones, Lucretius paved the way for the scientific revolution. His atomistic view of the universe, though not entirely accurate by modern standards, laid the groundwork for a worldview based on empirical observation and logic. This shift from divine mysticism to natural explanations is a crucial step in the evolution of secular ethics and governance. However, the challenge remains: without a divine moral arbiter, what prevents chaos and immorality? Critics of Lucretius might argue that without fear of divine punishment, individuals could act purely out of self-interest, jeopardizing social cohesion. To this, Lucretius would likely respond that knowledge and understanding of natural laws inherently guide humans toward cooperation and peace. By recognizing the shared human condition and the interdependence of all life, individuals are naturally inclined to act in ways that promote collective well-being. This perspective can be seen in modern secular humanism, which often draws from Enlightenment ideals. Philosophers like Immanuel Kant have argued for a moral law grounded in reason rather than religious doctrine. Kant's categorical imperative, the idea that one should act only according to maxims that could be universal laws, aligns with Lucretius's belief in reason as a moral compass. Furthermore, Lucretius's emphasis on the here and now over an uncertain afterlife challenges individuals to find meaning and purpose within this life. This existential focus resonates with Nietzsche's proclamation that God is dead, urging humanity to create its own values. Similarly, existentialists like Sartre argue that existence precedes essence, reinforcing the notion that individuals must forge their own purpose in a godless universe. The strongest objections to Lucretius's views often come from religious quarters, which argue that his removal of divine oversight could lead to a nihilistic worldview. They contend that without an ultimate purpose or divine justice, life loses meaning. However, Lucretius would counter that meaning is not bestowed from above, but is created through the experiences and relationships of living beings. By embracing the fleeting beauty of life and the wonders of nature, individuals find fulfillment and purpose. Historically, Lucretius's work fell into obscurity during the Middle Ages, a period dominated by religious dogma. However, its rediscovery in the Renaissance sparked renewed interest in natural philosophy and secular thought. This revival contributed to the erosion of theocratic dominance and the eventual rise of modern science and democratic ideals. His insights into the interconnectedness of life also speak to current ecological challenges. Lucretius's vision of humanity as part of a larger natural system suggests a moral imperative to preserve and protect the environment. This perspective aligns with contemporary environmental ethics, advocating for sustainable living and respect for all forms of life. In conclusion, while Lucretius's philosophy may seem radical in its dismissal of divine influence, it offers a compelling framework for understanding morality, purpose, and human potential through reason and nature. By questioning the necessity of divine oversight and proposing a naturalistic ethic, Lucretius invites a reimagined life that continues to inspire and challenge us today. His thought encourages an ethical life grounded in empathy, understanding, and the appreciation of the natural world, providing a timeless contribution to the ongoing dialogue about the essence of human existence. Reflecting on Lucretius's ideas, we find a philosophical stance that values human agency and the inherent beauty of nature. His naturalistic view challenges us to seek meaning and morality through our interactions with the world and each other, rather than relying on divine mandate. This approach not only broadens our understanding of purpose, but also aligns with contemporary issues of environmental stewardship and ethical living. The discourse surrounding Lucretius invites us to ponder a significant question. Can a life devoid of divine purpose still offer a fulfilling narrative, one rich with meaning derived from the connection with the natural world and human experience? This inquiry remains relevant as we navigate the complexities of modern life, echoing Lucretius's enduring impact on philosophical thought. As we conclude our exploration of Lucretius, we are reminded of the power of philosophy to help us reflect on our place in the cosmos. Join us in our next essay as we delve into the philosophies that continue to shape our understanding of existence. Thank you for listening, and until next time.